All right, Shalom. All right, it's the brother Gamal and Barazal. All right, coming at you with another lesson. First of all, giving all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right, double honors to the elders, the apostles that rule well, and also Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth with sincerity. All right, we got a couple articles, and we're gonna bring out some precepts. We don't really have anything in mind. We're just gonna kind of go with the spirit and flow, and Lord willing, you brothers are edified. All right. So basically, what we want to bring out first, um, basically, our main focus is prophecy. All right, that's mainly what we're occupied with right now. Um, and right now, Esau, he's pushing to further his agenda, his new world order agenda. Okay. So ultimately, they want to put that chip in mainly Jake's. All right, but they really want to put that chip in everyone. But they're doing things slowly. You got the Apple Watches, you got different technologies that's gearing towards their ultimate goal. And basically, this article, we'll read it. RFID chips and windshields, simple way to catch bad guys. All right. A simple, smart use of RFID represents a significant breakthrough in fighting fraud and crime, because that's mainly how they're gonna push that chip. All right, they're mainly gonna push it like as if it's beneficial to you. Is to stop fraudulent activity.
Cut down on the crime rate,
Yeah,
for safety means,
con
all types of sort like that, just for your protection and safety.
right,
You know.
con. So I'm just gonna read it. RFID isn't just for tolls anymore. And this is happening in Bolivia. It says Bolivia has a solution for detecting illegal cars that is so simple. You'll wonder why we haven't been doing it for years. And it will also lead to clever and easy anti-fraud detection in all sorts of other businesses. All right, Bolivia has made RFID chips mandatory on every car, and the government is having gas stations read those tags to catch registration scofflaws and other bad guys.
And see that the main thing too is it's mandatory now,
That's
so
right.
it's against your will. You can't say that, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I don't want to deal with this RFID technology, or have it interact with it in any type of sort. Because if you do that, then you being it being legal or against your will, if you do that, then you'll be likely to get thrown in prison.
That's right.
All right, or put to death.
Be outlawed.
Outlaw. Yep.
That's right. Um, RFID is out of vogue as wireless sensors and other connected products come to the forefront of the Internet of Things. But sometimes a simple and cheap solution is best. Listen to this. Nearly every car needs gas to run. So the one thing people driving around without registration can't avoid is the pump. All right, so that's how they catch you up.
Mm-hmm.
They got that trap, man.
Right.
Um,
And you see, even when you go to pump gas now, you can swipe your debit card or your credit card, anything like that.
mhm.
Anything of that sort. They're gonna eventually start cutting it down to the people that's working inside of the gas stations, your local gas stations, convenience stores. They don't even need to work there. All right, because this
Mhm.
is the RFID technology and the age that we living in, to the point where they're gonna reduce um, local people working, man. Civilians getting jobs and stuff like that. They're gonna cut all that down, and the new method that they're gonna introduce is this RFID technology. All right, from the tags, um, your license, your ID, any type of identification you once have that was tangible, it will now be inserted in your right hand or your forehead, and they can just detect it through the technology that they have. All right,
Yeah, that's right. And you know, basically, they're gonna try to trip you up because the scriptures say, you can't buy or sell save you have that chip. So in this case, you know, it's not implanted in you, but they're still making it to where you can't buy gas unless you have it on your car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really, that prophecy coming to pass on a smaller scale.
That's right.
All right. Now let's see the startlingly simple solution is for gas stations to check the RFID tag of every car that pulls into the station. No tag, and the police are alerted. If the tag doesn't match the vehicle or the license plate, the police are alerted. So they're getting rid of that. They're getting rid of fraudulent cars on the road.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can't have unregistered vehicles. All right, stolen cars. Okay. Then the owner of the car in question has time to work out with the police if this is an error or if that owner is in violation. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, see that's the times that we live in, and it's going to become mandatory also for these various companies.
That's
all right, because with the RFID technology, we bring it out portion to portion. That's how prophecy occurs. Little minor or micro situations that eventually ascend to the apex, to the macro situation. All right, because he just said that in Bolivia, it's mandatory.
Right.
All right, and the scriptures talk about he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, when you cause something, it's gonna make it, like I said, mandatory. They're gonna mandate it and make it you not have no type of say so about it. All right.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna bring out this. I got a quick precept.
You bring it up.
This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the sea, of the earth, and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And that devil is referring to the so-called white man. All right, because this is the end of the so-called white man society. All right, they see it through the, you can see it through the infrastructure. You see how this place is crumbling. So, or even monetarily. All right, that's the main thing that you should focus on too, because that's how they're going to introduce this new monetary system. This is going to be the new type of way that Esau is going to deal monetarily. All right, it's not going to be tangible cash, hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s. And another thing too, a lot of people can print out fake money, man. All right, so they're going to start having a lot of that stuff coming to the news, and they're going to be like, what's the solution? All right, we can't deal with this tangible money. Our best solution is to just insert a chip in the individuals so that they can't be defrauded, so they can't get robbed for their money. All right, or anything of that sort. You can't take a chip out of somebody and use it because it's already inserted in you, and it's going to be identified with your body. That's how it's going to thrive, and that's how it's going to function. Once the chip is took out of you, guess what? The chip is gonna be detected to a database that this person has took the chip out of him, or more than likely you'll probably be killed. But that's what Esau is gradually coming towards, man. All right, and they show you that through various movies, man. They show you that through the movie starring Justin Timberlake. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Out of Town. All right, where different people were had the RFID chip inserted in their hand, or whatever bodily part, because it's not just your right hand at the same time. You know, you got guys that try to get smart and get funny and say, well, what about my left hand? It could be in any part of your body. It's still going to thrive through your body, but the main things that the scriptures pinpoint is the right hand or the forehead. All right?
That's right. And right now, I wanted to say this. Let me show y'all this. This is my, I had to get a new Wells Fargo card, and look at that. Look at that. You see that right here? Wait, on this side? That's the chip right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the chip, And I went to the liquor store to buy something, and I went to swipe it. He was like, oh, nah, you got the chip. He was like, just insert it. They got a little thing, a little insert thing. And I was like, so what's the point? What's the difference between a swipe and, and me inserting it. You know, but
that's just that transition.
That's just that transition. They want you to have that chip.
Because eventually it's going to be starting to be a scan.
Yeah.
You no longer will have to slide it. You're going to be able to scan it.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, like we were just saying, you got to put certain things in perspective. How they're going to push this out. They're going to be like, all right, too many people are losing their cars. The cars should get stolen. They could take the cars and use them towards other things. All right. So our only method is to insert that chip in you. I'm going to keep going on. Let me just finish this last little bit. Okay. Therefore, I'll read it over. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right. I'll get this one more scripture. Revelations 13, and start at verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the beast, unto the image of the beast. And we all know that the beast is a representation of the UN and NATO. All right, with America as the figurehead or the spearhead of these different organizations. All right, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that beast is a representation of the UN and NATO. And, you know, they just showed you Bolivia is now becoming mandatory, but guess what? It's going to be all kind of European countries that start mandating it. Not only European countries, you're going to have more Eastern. You'll have Russia. You'll have India, Pakistan, Israel. Mm-hmm. All right, different Asian countries. Well, just wanted to prior, I just read into it. China is a major exporter of RFID technology. I think they said over 80% of the RFID technology is based out of China. So guess what? The Chinese elites, they're gonna start pushing that new technology. All right, it's gonna no longer be this physical, tangible Federal Reserve notes or yen or what is it called, the British pounds or whatnot, anything that you could put in your hand. All right, it's gonna be this new age, this new world order where the technology is inserted in you. All right, keep going. Both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. See, we just read it about gas. All right, you can't buy, which another word for buy is to purchase. All right, or sell, save he that had the mark. All right, and you will no longer be able to sell, because in order to sell, you will have to receive something, some type of money or anything in exchange. Mm-hmm. But it will no longer be money with this RFID technology. So the buying and selling, trading, that's going to be out the window, man.
That's right.
All right, and you can't say it's going to be different people think it's probably going to be a bartering system where you can just trade goods for goods. But for the most part, that's not going to work. All right, because first off, Esau has total dominion over all this, all the different companies, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, the technology that you want to purchase. All right, Esau has his hand in all that. So that's what Esau is trying to basically have everybody receive in order to be under his dominion or be part of this new society, this new world order. All right, but us as men of the Lord, we know not to take that chip. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
When that chip is introduced to us, we say, hell no, man. You got to walk by faith. And YAHAWASHI is going to deliver us through the times of Jacob's trouble, pursuant to Jeremiah 30:7.
That's right.
All right.
And I got something on that. You want to finish?
I'll just finish last little bit. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. I'll just read the last verse. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and its number is 666, which represents 666.
Con, I was just gonna bring this out because you said the elect you know, we're gonna have to walk by faith. All right, and you know, the elect is not gonna get caught up in that. All right, and you know, Lord willing, we're of that number. You know, but basically, you know, you're gonna be tested. You know, the real men of the Lord, the true colors are gonna show, man. You know, we're gonna know which camp, which camps the Lord is dealing with. You know, the Lord is not dealing with IUIC. All right, it's gonna be known who the real men of the Lord are. All right, and the Lord we're gonna be okay. Lord willing, in that day, you know, the Lord is gonna take care of it. It's Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
See that's that wisdom and knowledge, because what we presenting right now is knowledge, man.
That's right.
So when the whole shebang finally comes, or you know, the big shebang goes down, we won't be as surprised as everybody else, because we already knew these situations wasn't going to occur. You know, that's what the prophets do. They prophesy. When you go into the etymology of the word prophecy, it means to say before. We telling you beforehand that this chip is going to be mandatory throughout America, not only America, but throughout the whole world. All right. So when this deal goes down, you shouldn't be afraid. I'm talking about the elect. All right, because the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWASHI is going to support us and sustain us in that day. And it said the fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, because that's what's going to keep you. You got to keep your mind state on getting to the kingdom of heaven and not taking that chip. Why? Because you fear the Lord and fear breaking the law, statutes, and commandments what the Lord commanded you. All right, because this is a commandment.
That's
all right. Not only is you have the commandments in the Torah, the whole Bible is a book of commandments from the New Testament from the Old Testament to the New Testament. All right. And you had a little bit more.
Let me see.
Because I added something. If you.
That's really it on that.
Okay. This is Well, I had a little article I wanted to bring out too. This is Injecting Electronics into Brain, Not as Freaky as It Sounds, by Erica Angel says no need for the cyborg future. It's already here. Adding to a growing list of electronics that can be implemented in the body, scientists are working to perfect the ultimate merger of mind and machine. You know, that's that transhumanism, that cyborg technology. All right. Whether any type of ailment or disease that you possess, if you have certain brain if you have certain brain dysfunctions, all right, if you have certain limbs or anything that's not working, that's not functioning as it should, Esau is gonna put this RFID chip into you, so it could so you could basically be refurbished or refreshed as a human being. That's merging that technology with man. Says a new type of flexible electronics can be injected through a syringe to unfurl an implant directly into the brains of mice. Shows a study published Monday in Nature Nanotechnology. Researchers injected a fine electronic mesh and were able to monitor brain activity in the mice. All right, and that's another reason why Esau wants to even come to this point, because they want to keep people in line mentally, man. Because that's when you become a god, when you know somebody minding their intentions. Esau wants to ascend up into God shit, man.
That's right, because they already control the minds of the masses through their TV, all right, television programming, all right, but they want to take it a step further by actually controlling, actually having I guess even more literal control over your mind, right? But I got some on that. Isaiah 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. All right, because so-called white man. That's really talking about his pride, but it's also talking about literal their space stations and satellites and stuff. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. All right. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
See that's that trying to ascend into to be omnipotent.
That's right.
All right. When you look up the word omnipotent, it means to see all, know all, being there when you're not even there, man. All right. That's a characteristic of a God, man. And Esau desires that power, man. He desires to be like the Heavenly Father. All right, keep going.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
And if I can say something, and Nate's, man, they some clowns, man, because they really don't know the agenda, man. They don't know what the white man is truly trying to accomplish. They say the white man this, the white man's that. They speak against the white man, but they truly don't know the full intent of this white devil, man. Because the earth is given into the hand of him, but he wants to take this thing a whole step further.
Well, they don't want this thing to go down.
Right. Come on. Ultimately, they don't want to see this whole deal go down, man.
They don't want to see the white man go down.
Come on.
They want him to stay in his seat so they could keep on getting them benefits, man. Living it up.
Come on.
All right. That they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake the kingdoms?
That's the so-called white man.
That's right.
All right. But ultimately, YAHAWASHI is going to return when the so-called white man trying to fill his belly, like it tells you in the book of Job, and he going to rain hell on this white man. All right. And all of us, we're going to also be tested prior to that all that goes down, man. Because that's going to be our ultimate test. Talking about the elect, Lord willing, we the men. But that's going to be the test for us men in the faith. All right, whether we're going to take this chip or we're going to die. Because some men will be beheaded and be put to death pursuant to the prophecies and revelations. All right, but you just got to endure unto the end, man. And ultimately, YAHAWASHI is going to deliver us and restore us, man.
That's right.
I just had a little bit more. It says, you're blowing the living and the non-living, says Charles Lieber, a nanoscientist at Harvard and co-author of the study. One day he says, electronics might not only monitor brain activity, but also deliver therapeutic treatments for Parkinson's disease.
See that?
Okay. Or even act as a bridge over damaged areas of the brain. Deep brain stimulation is already used for Parkinson's, but uses relatively large probes, which can cause formation of scar tissue around the probe. All right. The tiny size, just a couple of millimeters unfurled, of the new devices allow them to be placed precisely in the brain while minimizing damage. A separate team of Korean researchers note in an accompanying article. Ultimately, the goal is to interweave the electronics so finely with brain cells that communications between the two become seamless. All right, if brothers want to read the rest of it, I think it's on the. It
says
phenomena.
Yeah. .net.
National Geographic.com under injections electronics into brain, not as freaky as it sounds. All right.
That's right.
So Esau is trying to desensitize you and make it not as serious and not something that you should be worried about or afraid of. But you should fear those type of things, or not even fear, but be aware of the situations that are to come. Be admonished. That's right.
That's right.
So when they present themselves, like, oh hell no, I'm not taking that. That's the RFID chip. Written in the book of Revelation 13 and 16. The Lord commanded me not to take it. All right. You had brothers namely GMS, starting off with the apostles and the elders on down, that's been doing innumerable amount of videos to forewarn the prophets or the elect or certain men that believe in his faith to not take this. All right. So you would know off instinct. All right, that's the RFID chip. I'm not gonna take that because the scriptures say don't take it. All right.
That's right.
I just
Oh yeah, you got it. Precept.
Yeah, I just finished this. Revelations 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Alright, so that's what is going to happen if you do take the RFID chip. So it behoove you to, not take it, because the scriptures tell you don't. Alright, but you had something you want to bring up?
There's this another thing that's a part of this new world order agenda, all right, is these FEMA camps and this martial law, impending martial law, all right. Now, this article is basically about them taking the homeless to FEMA camps and being chipped. All right. Now there's a video on it. I guess we'll let it roll. Slacky, my computer is kind of being slow right now, but probably hear the audio fine.
Are they going to be given the same choice, jail or FEMA camp? This article also documents how similar
that what he just said, that's the key word right there. They're gonna give these homeless people, you got a choice, either jail or FEMA camps. All right, which really that's like asking them the same. That's like asking them jail or jail, because FEMA camp is a damn jail.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to jail than a FEMA camp.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's a play on words, man.
Yeah, it's a play on words. Yeah, God. So,
policies of criminalizing the homeless are beginning to be introduced in Sacramento, Miami, and Southern California. So again, getting people used to the idea of taking the disenfranchised away to the camps. It's already happening.
Again, last night, I asked the Lord to show me something of God, something that I can give to the people. He gave me a dream where I saw myself. I was going with my wife to one of the government building to get assistance from the government, some kind of assistance. I think it was medical insurance. And I said, I don't want nothing from the government, by the way. I want nothing from the government. So I sat in the living room, and my wife, they called my wife into the office for her appointment, and I noticed that as soon as she walked into the office, they grabbed her to bring her in to put on the RFID chip on her. But it was something so sudden.
See that? It said they grabbed her. All right. As soon as she walked into the office, they grabbed her and to put that chip inside her.
See that? Oh, I got a little bit I want to bring up. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idols, which things offer unto idols. All right, and they main people that they experiment with now, like I said, the homeless, because the homeless really don't have nothing to live for. They're not gonna have a strong resistance because they homeless for the most part. They don't have no type of life, so they're using them as a experiment to see how much of a fight or what would occur if they try to introduce this chip to the homeless people. First, taking them to the FEMA centers and giving them that the alternative of jail or the FEMA center.
And they're gonna take it.
And they're gonna take the FEMA center because it's all psychological. Esau deals heavily with psychology, man.
Yeah, because they're gonna get fed. They're gonna.
Yep.
They're gonna. You get fed in jail, but they might give you a little pork ham sandwich.
Right.
All right, and you might get some covers during the winter time. All right.
You know, they're gonna
So-
introduce it to make it seem like it's something that you would like to go to, all right, like a secure area.
Yeah.
They did that in New Orleans during the time of Katrina. All right, you know, when the big situation occurred in the Katrina, you know, the hurricane, they stored the people in the FEMA centers. All right, and it was even documented during that time that people were taking the chip because Esau tries and he capitalizes off major devastations, major events that occur in the world to introduce the chip to see how these people would take or how would they react in times of grief. All right, in times of trouble, like the scriptures talk about when it's referring to the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Well, I'm gonna go a little bit further. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. All right. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. All right. So when it's time of grief, martial law, concentration camps fully enacted, you know, people getting hauled into concentration camps. All right. Being taken, you know, having to take the RFID chip as a means of security or comfort. All right. And that's how you're going to know who the chosen going to be, man. All right. Because the chosen are going to follow the course that YAHAWASHI told them to follow, man. Strive for the truth unto death. All right. For they shall waste. Oh, Salakia. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. All right. And when you look up that word tried, it's another word for being tested, man. That's going to be our major trial. Because we're not going through the trial right now. The chip is being introduced, like I said prior, on a micro level. It's certain minor cities, not even, you know, sometimes major cities, but it's no type of real major event where they just saying this all these people have to take this chip in their hand.
Yeah, that's right.
It's leading up to that point.
And that's why, man, this can be a false flag any day now, man.
Right.
It's really gonna be a false flag any day now. You know, because, you know, right now it's quiet. You know how it gets quiet before a storm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still things going out on the news. You know, but I mean, there hasn't really been a big breaking news thing. You know, and that's how the elites work. They work in patterns. All right.
That's right.
You know. Like I said, it gets quiet before the storm, and then it's just gonna be. Now, whenever it happens this time, it's gonna be chaos, man. Because it's already so much going on. You know, I think the last thing that you could say, the last event that you could say got people wound up was these shootings. These Jakes getting shot.
Right.
All right. So all we really need now is a damn so-called terrorist attack. You know, they got ISIS. They're gonna have ISIS do some crazy shit.
Right. It could be ISIS. You know, through speculation, that's what a prophet should do anyways, man. As a prophet, you should look at all factors and try to key in or try to connect the dots, kind of like a spider web, man, to see how this whole thing is going to play out. That's what you're supposed to do with the scriptures ultimately, man. Also, to see, all right, this is going to occur, and then this event, these, you know.
Yeah, different scenarios.
You got to play them scenarios out to see how this thing goes. That's why the scriptures also refer to the prophets as watchmen. Because when you watching, you looking and you panning on all directions, and you'll see, okay, this is an area where the enemy could infiltrate. All right, this is an area where, you know, this would be a good area that the enemy could take. Because you got to also play devil's advocate, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look on both sides of the field, man, to see how this white man operate. And it's right around the corner, like the brother was saying. You got all these shootings, the minorities being shot all over the America. You know, people rioting. You know, people raising up. You know, insurrections all over the place, and they enacting a form of martial law, which it is actually martial law on a small base when you introduce the National Guard, and they're doing certain things like that to suppress the people and keep the people intact. All right, but those are known as drills, man. When you study them, those aren't just coincidental. All this stuff is happening according to the so-called white man, namely the Illuminati, the elite's agenda to push this new world order. And they study on who? The lab rats, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American communities. All right, you're known as sheep to the like the scriptures talk about in the book of Romans. Y'all are like sheep going to the slaughter. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
You had anything else, or that was
let me see.
I had a little precept of long.
I got something.
Okay.
Going back to the homeless, you know, getting the homeless people getting into having to go into the shelters. All right, for James 4:6, but he giveth more grace. Wherefore he said, God resisteth the proud, but he giveth grace unto the humble.
Right.
Because you know, these poor jakes, you know, they're really humble. All right, really that scripture is talking about the elect. All right, because you know, we're really lowly. All right, we're really we're compared to
The meek.
yeah, we're the meek. We're the meek. All right, compared to most jakes, we're on the bottom. All right. Now, I don't want to say most jakes, but compared to most people in general, all right, we're on the bottom. All right. Now, you know, the Lord is going to have mercy on His elect. All right. And let me see, what were we talking about?
I got something if you want to bring it up, or you got something.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh, this is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Meaning the elect. All right, because the time of Jacob's trouble is very, very near, man. All right, these elites are gearing up. We brought out you know, last week how they just put a lot of money towards getting barbed wire. You know, all kind of miles and miles of barbed wire, man, to put around these different concentration camps. All right, they got the Jade Helm situation where they're doing these military drills state to state, you know, in urban areas, and they're doing all kind of other military exercises and various drills to prepare the troops for the time of Jacob's trouble, known in the scriptures. All right, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and the stranger shall no more serve themselves of him. All right, because this is the time that ultimately YAHAWASHI is going to deliver the elect. All right, the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're going to be delivered out of this captivity, man. All right, this is the reason why all this shit is going down ultimately. But the Most High stirring up this Third World War, brewing it up, and over there in the Middle East, and also over here in America. So when the time hit, you know, we'll be delivered. And you had anything, or?
Nah, it's really it on that.
Okay. Well,
but basically, you know, just keep on watching out. All right. You know, keep on staying in the scriptures and matching up what's going on with the prophecies. All right. Keep on praying to YAHAWASHI that you're of the elect, and that, you know, He takes you out of this thing, man. Because that's all we have is YAHAWASHI. That's really it.
okay.
All right.
We want to give our praise to YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles GMS. And shalom to the Akim out there pushing the work.
Shalom.
All right, shalom.